All right, there everybody is. Good to see you guys. So this is Kurt Van Anen. I'm the host of the Mañana No Mas morning check-in. It is Monday morning. It is September 13th. And what an absolute pleasure to be able to come to you today. I jumped out today like a shot. Pardon me. No COVID, I swear. Pumpkin bread got me. So neighbor made pumpkin bread, by the way. Neighbor across the street, Laura, she's awesome. So in case you haven't seen it, in case you haven't, checked into my social over the last few days, we got it. 3 months to put the deal together. Finally got the Ford 7.3 liter diesel travel van. We picked it up last week. You will continue to see more and more and more of this vehicle. I absolutely, I'm like in love with it. I'm like a little child. In fact, I'm going to go in here in another screen and I'm going to pull up a quick picture of it. And wow, I take a lot of pictures. All right, I'll throw this one up on the screen here, and then I'll do a shared screen so you can kind of see what I got going on here. But man, it is so much fun. They delivered it to us on Main Street, and it basically looks like a SWAT truck. All the lights work, and so we flipped on the lights and drove it through the neighborhood, bringing it home. And man, the kids went crazy in the neighborhood. It was a lot of fun. And so I'll go ahead and stop the share. But pretty soon you'll be seeing that vehicle in a lot of other pieces. And so we're going to do a little bit of a camper van build on that. I'm probably going to make a separate channel to kind of document the camper van and its travels and fun things like that, right? I don't know if I'm actually going to be an influencer in the travel van world, but the whole van life thing is super, super cool. So I'm getting a symbol here saying that the sound is off, but then I'm seeing the microphone move. So I think we're good. Anyway, here we are. It's Monday. So I'm excited about the van. I'm excited about some new tools. I bought into some new tools over the last week. And this week I'm putting some time into learning how to use those. And I've actually had to kind of convert myself away from the native Outlook inside my laptop to using more of the Google-based email, because I'm using a calendar product through Groundhog that integrates with Gmail. And so I'm like, okay, so it integrates with Gmail and the Gmail calendar. And then I have another tool that integrates with the Gmail calendar. And then I have a third tool that is able to integrate with the Gmail calendar. And then of course that Gmail calendar, that can go through to my phone. So for me, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm using one level of communication that goes to my laptop, right? But wouldn't it be cool if I had all of my communication with me all the time? And I plan on doing more and more travel. And yes, you can have your laptop with you and you can have a hotspot and you can do all these things. But a lot of times, especially if you're behind the wheel, you want to be able to just use like voice to text, respond to somebody quickly, and then, keep going until you come to a part later where you can actually make that, more formal communication. Anyway, I digress. I'm making some changes, using some new tools. As these new tools begin to show some success along the way, because not all these things are a light switch, right? And let's be honest, I might not like them. They might not work. And so, or the way I'm setting things up might not work. So I'm setting everything up. When I begin to experience a little bit of success with it, it's something else that I'll roll out in a video series and probably in one of those value-added emails that I put out on a Monday basis, right? So having, always being willing to make that change. Don't get stuck in a rut. It's like, how can I make this more efficient? How can I make this more customer-centered? How can I be more on the fly? How can I be more integrated, more plugged in with my people while respecting my time away, right? I don't have to respond to everything every time. If I'm watching a movie with my wife or, spending mentorship time with my son on a Friday morning, that's their time, right? I'm not saying that I'm going to interfere with other priorities in life, but it would be cool to be able to have a more instantaneous, more direct connection to people rather than just, hoping to be in front of my laptop when somebody needs me for something. So I'm looking forward to plugging in these new tools and seeing how they all work. Moving along on other paths, just finished up that contract down with the County of Los Angeles and getting ready for the election stations. And what a great experience. It's always so cool for a trainer. If you're a public speaker, a trainer, a coach. Zoom is a nice tool, but it does not replace being in the classroom. It just doesn't replace it. And what was nice is, you all know I'm an Andrew Eagleton fan, right? I call him Andrew Eggleton. I think it's Eagleton, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I'll ask him one of these days. He's down in Australia, and he talks about, revolutionizing the presentation game. He talks about, being your true self, be authentic. Don't change your pace. And this was a perfect example of that. Both classes, I taught 2 extended classes for new people at the election. And the first week, I was full of piss and vinegar and laughing and joking and smiling and almost like a stereotypical trainer, like what you expect a rah-rah kind of session to be. And I was pulling that off pretty good. But that's me. That's me. That was my authentic self that week. The next week, I don't know, my energy was down a little bit. Not that I was sluggish or slow or didn't do the job, but I didn't have that, that circus act or a vibe, whatever you want to call it. And that's okay, right? People I was working with were like, hey, you seem a little off today. I said, yeah, I feel a little off today, but the content's good. Everything's getting handled. Everything's done, right? And at the end of class, people came up, best class ever. Thanks so much. Best class ever. Thanks so much. And that is because I stayed professional. I delivered. I made it happen. It doesn't always have to be about, being a clown. That's not what it's always about. It's about sharing, being real, sharing experience, sharing information, being authentic, making a connection, and identifying with people. And it was there. I've been accused by some, especially the younger people at my church, of having RBF, which is resting bitch face. So I'm not saying that I was standing in front of the class with RBF the whole time, but I wasn't like, right? So I was kind of like in between, and that's all right. The job got done. Everybody was happy. And the county's like, oh, you're the best trainer we've ever had. Can we have you back again? Absolutely, you can have you back again. I've already done this twice. I enjoy it. No reason why I wouldn't do it again. And, the contract's fairly profitable for me, so I don't mind doing it. It's a good time. So that was cool. Now this week's big. I am offering a 20% discount on the Power Sport Academy, and for new dealers that sign up in the Power Sport Academy, 20% off is sizable. If you have a medium-sized dealership and say you want to train 4 or 5 people in the system, it's a $10,000 investment. Right? Now, a lot of people that pay that $10,000 are going to see 500, 800, $1 million more dollars in parts and labor revenue come through their departments. So $10,000 is not a lot of money in response to what they'll see as a financial gain in revenue through their departments, not to mention, improved culture, improved camaraderie, reduced employee turnover, things like that. These are side effects of the training that are invaluable, like meaning can't put a value on it, right? And so super stoked. Remember, 20% off. I mean, if this is a $10,000 investment, you're going to save $2,000 this week. So this is the time to sign up. My goal is to get as many dealerships as possible into this thing during the month of September, so that as October kicks off, which is traditionally the training season for motorcycle dealerships, is like October to March. So traditionally, this is when training kicks off for a lot of dealers. So let's do it. Let's go with your normal pace. Let's go with your normal cadence. Let's get people signed up in September. Let's really hit the training hard in October. Let's get some of the communication and some of the culture issues, handled between October and say February. By then, we should be able to start looking at processes and procedures and things that will help increase efficiency of these shops and drive that revenue as the new season really comes to light in March, April, May of 2022. And so it's a great plan. What I need is, a handful of dealers this week to go, man, I want to grab the gold brass ring. I want to just make this happen. And I want to invest in my people. You see it all over LinkedIn. You see it all over everywhere else. If dealers are kind of like in this holding pattern where they're like waiting for the OEMs, they're waiting for the distributors to come up with some great training or to come up with something for the dealers. And the fact of the matter is that the OEMs are only going to make training if it's going to equal selling more of their parts for their brand. And they hesitate to improve dealers from this perspective because let's say that I'm brand X. Well, if I help you with brand X and some of these processes and procedures, that's automatically going to help brand Y and brand Z, right? And dealer and OEMs don't necessarily want to pay or invest in the training that helps their competition do better as well. It sounds really counterproductive, but when you think about how older people in management, in executive management make decisions, you can see how that could be a thought. And so when I left the OEMs myself, I've done Ducati, I've done Suzuki, I've done some work with BRP, I've written samples for Indian, I've talked to the folks at Triumph, when KTM, I guess I've been around a little bit, right? But when you step away from a brand and you do it independently, well, now you can be dealer focused and you can really give the dealer that information that's going to add the most value to them at the right time. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. We just need to get a few more dealers signed up this month so we can really hit it hard in October and really start to accrue some results. And, you know, those results will help drive and gain momentum as we move forward. We've already got a little bit of momentum and I really want to capitalize on it. I guess that's it. Happy Monday. Go kill your week. I'm after it over.